What's up, everybody? This is Presto
CorporalNosaj,
and you are listening and watching episode 117 of the Nintendads podcast. An absolute cosmic invasion of news and retro Marvel goodness. On tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about all the stuff that has happened because we kind of took November off by accident. There was just a lot going on in our lives, in the lives of two nerdy dads. So we're going to go over a bunch of news.
Let's just recognize that for a moment. Like, balancing families, balancing jobs, balancing gaming life, balancing the podcast, and balancing the holidays. Talk about a juggle.
I can barely balance my body on my own feet during the holidays most of the time, depending on the drinks being served. But yes, balance is tough. Plus, there's that other super secret project that we're not going to talk about that's also taking a very long time. Stay tuned. Remember, you heard the first little breadcrumb of hint here, episode 117. But yes, we're going to be catching up on all the news, and then we're going to do a little review of a game, which was my last anticipated game of this calendar year, which is Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Huge shout out to Emu and Tribute Games for hooking us up and for making another absolute banger of a modern retro game. I really don't get sick of saying that they just keep putting them out.
Emu, in all fairness, has a very specific niche. But do they do that niche well?
I don't know. I mean, they have a niche, they have a speciality, but if you look at their entire collection of games, it's a wider category than just a niche. Because don't forget, I always say, oh, they do the retro beat 'em up stuff. But then I remember they also did the remake of Windjammers 2. Okay. And then they also did Shinobi. And then they also, they have a big category. It's just that we are obsessed with one subset of their games. But yes. So before we get into all that, what are you playing? Oh. What is your list of stuff that you're playing? I'm afraid.
Yeah, you should be. Fortnite is definitely at the top of that list.
Yeah, you're still hooked?
Oh my god.
You've been hooked. They got you. They got their hooks in you during the Halloween event, and you've been saying Fortnite ever since.
Yeah, if Fortnite is definitely a thing. Although I cannot discuss any other game before I discuss Wild Frost. If you thought Balatro was addicting, Wild Frost will get you. The only reason why I think Wild Frost is not as popular as Balatro is because it is definitely tucked into that nerd RPG realm where you're like trying to be like magical, mystical, and Balatro is a card game like more widespread, likable across all games.
Yeah, everybody's like, "Oh, I know how to play poker." It's like if you know how to play poker, you know how to play Balatro.
Yeah, Wild Frost is Balatro, but if it was smacked in the face by Boulder, like,
is there any possibility that us, the community members, I'm stepping back from the mic and being a community member, is there a possibility that the community could maybe get a special edition, limited time only sneak peek stream of CorporalNosaj playing Wild Frost? Could it happen?
I think we can make that happen this week.
Oh my goodness gracious. I'd be tuning in. So Fortnite, Wild Frost.
Fortnite, Wild Frost, and I say...
Uh-oh.
Overcooked.
Oh God! I thought you were gonna say boyfriend dungeon with how you were moving all close and intimate with that mic.
Super close to the boyfriend dungeon. If you took Stardew Valley, took a dungeon crawler, put them together. I've got a game called Moonlighter that I have been.
Oh, yo, I know Moonlighter. Yeah,
Moonlighter is
Moonlighter's a banger.
pretty great game.
You know, Moonlighter 2 is
Right around the corner.
out? Coming out?
I think
I
it's
don't
coming out,
know.
but Moonlighter is pretty cool. Pretty cool. There's one other game that I've been playing, and it's called Pacific Drive,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that is actually a pretty cozy, like horror drive game. I'm
Yeah, and don't forget you've been playing a little bit of Marvel Cosmic Invasion,
I
maybe,
mean I
possibly,
I was kind of
a
leaving
little
that
bit.
to like keep it secret, but yeah,
Mm.
Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault.
Yeah, it's Rogue. It's Rogue as heck.
Actually, initial release date November 19th, 2025. So it
Oh, yeah, it is out, yeah.
just released.
I have been playing Marvel Cosmic Invasion quite a bit.
Mhm.
I've been playing Monster Hunter Wilds quite a bit, always. That's not even I shouldn't even have to say it at this point. But Nick Yeti got back into it, so I've been helping him play catch up, and
Okay.
we got absolutely flushed last night. We started doing Omega, which is like the end, like the hardest boss in the game. And
Okay.
usually, like I'm like it's hard, and we do it once or twice, and then we handle it. No, we got run over multiple times.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's no joke. You really have to know what you're doing. You have to have like we did the fight and we got like absolutely destroyed, demolished. And then we went back, we did another couple hunts. Nick Yeti upgraded his gear. We tried again, got less demolished, and then we
Okay.
tried it one more time and made it most of the way. But ultimately couldn't seal the deal. So I like it. I like it, and I know Nick likes not being able to clear stuff on the first couple tries.
Yeah.
So that's good stuff. The sleeper hit, which I am very happy to report that I've been playing through with my kid, is Super Mario World.
Oh.
Super Mario World is my favorite Mario game ever of all time.
Okay.
Um, Everyone said Super Mario Wonder was the best Mario game
Mario
since
World
Super Mario
is
World,
my
2D Mario
favorite
game.
Mario game.
Um, and I didn't like I love Super Mario Wonder. I don't like it as much as Super Mario World. And I've always told my son because he's getting back into Mario Maker, I said you have to play World. It's the best one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I finally got him playing on it. And we've been like, he'll play and he'll reach a point and he'll get stuck, and then I'll help him beat a level. And we've been playing through it, and it's magical. So good.
Cool.
What have you been sipping on, my friend?
I have been sipping on more versions of Death Water than I think could possibly even consider existed. I have devoured me some pretty amazing. Night, I am sipping on a Michelob Ultra.
Oh, very nice. So my birthday is in early November, and my birthday
Don't
gift
say.
this year, Scorpio gang out here. My birthday gift from my lovely wife was an espresso machine.
Oh,
And
that's
I
right.
have had more espresso in the last month than I have in like the last several years combined, because I took our drip coffee maker and I said, "Rest, sweet prince," and I put it in our cabinet, and it's come out one time for a party when it was impractical to make everyone espressos. And then you know what? The coffee maker never got used. I made like 15 espressos in 30 minutes. It is. I am so addicted. Sometimes the earth is shaking because of how much caffeine I've had, but it's worth it.
That's funny.
100%.
You've been drinking a
Wonderful.
lot of that Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Tell me can't sleep, baby. I know. It's that me espresso. And don't think that I didn't blast that on repeat on my Alexa while I was setting up the machine. I absolutely did. and sometimes I forget that there's a very bad word in the start of that song
Yep.
that I always manage to beep out, and my son heard it, and he didn't realize that there was a bad, and he goes, "Oh, what? Sabrina Carpenter curses?" And I'm like, "Oh no, what have I done?" Anyway, let's catch up on the actual news. There's so much there's so much stuff here. And I think that is how I feel about most of this news is that it's just stuff.
Okay.
Uh which could be an episode on its own,
Yeah,
really.
it could be. This
But we'll
first
start.
one, this first one, we're gonna bring uh Kirby Air Riders, and I tell you that I am
Yeah.
not a huge Kirby fan, and nor have I been addicted to any of the prior games. But my son, Little Red, this is like one of the four things he asked for.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So
So there is a demo. Maybe there's not a demo. I think there was a like couple weekends leading up to the release that you could play it for free.
okay.
And I had Kirby Air Riders on that GameCube right there in the background,
Yep. Yep.
and I played it. It wasn't like I wasn't crazy about it. It was really my younger brother's game, and he liked it a lot more than I did. But I've played it, and I was like, "Oh, this game looks cool. Like I'm gonna check it out." I played it for like 15 minutes, and I just is not my style of game. It's like a racing game, but with crack. It's really, really fast paced and really hectic, and there's just a lot going on, and like that's fine. I will say that it's Kirby was made by Masahiro Sakurai,
Yep.
who is the godfather of Super Smash Brothers.
Yep.
And holy hell, there is so this game, if I showed you this game and I showed you the menus and the victory screens, and if I showed you all the UI outside of the actual race, I guarantee you I could convince you that this was DLC for Super Smash Brothers. It
Really.
is so it's too similar. It's like it looks like it belongs as DLC to Super Smash Brothers. It's crazy. And I know that Sakurai has said famously that he lets his wife do a lot of the design for like the menuing and stuff.
Oh, really?
And yeah, it doesn't always make the most amount of sense, but it's always very pretty. Um, but it's Super Smash Brothers menu. Even like the winning racer, this game's winner is Kirby. Like it looks like Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
But people are liking it. It's like kind of a cult classic, so I'm glad that
It's getting some
fans of
kind of
the
love.
series,
Yeah.
yeah. Speaking of fans of a series finally getting something, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond just came out this past week to
And
mixed reviews.
yeah, I mean, so Metroid Prime 4, oh my god, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is currently sitting at an 8 out of 10 on IGN in accident Metacritic. So it's a positive thing, but if you actually read a lot of the comments, it feels like it's more diverse, just 80%.
Here's the thing. This requires context. So Metroid Prime, people are fanatical about that series. They did the Metroid Prime remasters on the Switch. Everybody loved it. Metroid
It's
Prime 4.
for those of you who are like shooter fans or first person, it very much is laid out at Halo. So like
Yeah,
it's
totally. Sci-fi first person shooter vibes, yeah.
totally awesome.
With a little more platforming than
Yep.
than Halo. But Metroid Prime 4, like Metroid Prime 3 came out I think 15 years ago. So this is like one of those long awaited sequels or like next in the series. and it was supposed to come out for Switch 1, and then it got pushed to Switch 2, and people had high expectations for this game. And the reason that it's getting not the best reception is because if you wait 15 years for a game, when the game comes out, it's got to have the sauce. It can't just cover its bases and do what the first 3 games did. And that is exactly what Metroid Prime does. And you can view that as a good thing or a bad thing. It's good because if you like Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3, congratulations, you got more of it. But I think people's expectations were a little higher because you have this game coming out on the Switch 2, a brand new system. Like, it should be blowing people's minds, and it's not.
I
So
mean,
expectations and reality.
the game
But
is available on the Switch, $59, Switch 2, $69, and they do have the intermediary $9 upgrade pack. One begs the question, what really the upgrade pack doing for you? And maybe some minor, like, the truth of the matter is that this built started long ago, henceforth one the can or hardware, and they are trying to peddle it on the Switch 2 like some sort of street urchin trying to sell yesterday's underwear.
see, I am seeing that it runs at 60 frames on both, which is I was assuming that there was going to be 30 frames on Switch, 60 frames on Switch 2, but that's not the case. Actually, maybe I think it might be 120 frames on the Switch 2. That
Ooh,
might be the thing. Um, the load times are massively different.
okay,
Um,
yeah,
Textures, shadows, lighting, the usual things.
yep,
But actually, for once, performance is not where people are dinging this game.
no,
It's expectations that this game should have more unique, more innovative things, and it doesn't. And by the way, some people love this. Some people love the game. Some people have been waited. It's their game of the year. I'm very happy for those people. They There's two other things, and then we'll move on. They added so Metroid Prime. If you've ever played it, if you ever played any Metroid game, it's very dark and lonely, and it has this certain sci-fi atmosphere where you're alone on an alien planet, you're being hunted, like it has a very specific flavor. And they
yeah.
added an annoying ass chatty bad pun cringe NPC that once you encounter him, he gets like telecommunications with you and is just yakking throughout the rest of the game. And people are like, why would you do this? This is the one Nintendo game that has like the aura. It's unique in its sci fi spookiness. And you
I'll
just
tell you,
added
I'll tell you why.
Claptrap from Borderlands.
Tell you why they did it.
Why
Because
did they do it?
it fills the Halo vibe where you needed an AI companion of Cortana talk. I think they just chose poorly.
But the okay.
That's what it is. They chose poorly. I think they chose wrong voice actor, and I think they voice dialogue.
Yeah, it's written as like an annoying no, Samus. Oh. The last thing is the motorcycle sections
Yep.
look like they are from 2 generations back. It's
Yeah.
just dead empty space. But here's the kicker, and here's where I have an actual problem. So you get on the motorcycle, right? Big open expanse, you're cruising through. In some cases, you have to drive through this open desert. Think of it like a Hyrule field in Ocarina of Time. You're cruising through this big open area. Sometimes you're cruising for like 5 or 10 minutes, right? And it's just motorcycle sounds. But if you buy the $30 amiibo, you have the option to turn on this epic cinematic rock background music while you're on your motorcycle. But
That's
if you're a poor boy and you don't buy the $30 piece of plastic, you have to ride in silence through the PS2 esque landscape, and
that's
that's not consumer friendly. Nintendo, we talked about this. Come on.
that's
Anyway, so yes.
open world
But
hub
here's
zone is incredibly barren and boring and repetitive. Written NPC clash hard with the story and Metroid series. Lack of meaningful innovation and formula is meant.
I should have just had you read that instead of having me trip all over my words and such. Here's the question though. Is the Switch 2 worth buying yet? Because now Donkey Kong's out. Mario Kart World just got a big patch update, which I didn't really put in the notes, but they got a patch update and it fixes a lot of issues. You have Kirby Air Riders, you have Metroid Prime 4. Is
So
it worth
the
it?
game
Let me work it.
roster, the game roster that is available exclusive to this does not carry enough weight for me to pull that trigger. Now, what I will say is I would have been interested in about a month or two had I not just dropped $6,000 on trying to fix cars.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think a lot of the economy feels that way where it's like, I would love to get this new Switch 2 system, but unfortunately, the money that I have in my video game budget is allocated to survival
Yeah.
because the economy kind of sucks. Like groceries are over games.
I went from getting a raise to going right back to where I was because of
Did that Subaru work out? Like what's the I
oh
should have
it's
talked to you about this before stream.
I had to put 5 grand in fixing it and I put 6 grand or another grand into Lady Sage's car for other things. So a total of 6 grand worth of vehicle repair have gone into out of my budget and out of my credit and out of my 401k and into somebody else's hands.
That sucks. Yeah.
I've got two
And that's
working
why
cars now.
yeah. You could pay for all of that quite easily if you just canceled Xbox Game Pass.
The $30.
After we stream this game, not right now. Don't do it now.
All right, moving
Yeah,
on.
you know what? You know what? For me, if I didn't have a Switch 2, I could deal with missing out on Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, everything so far. I'm like, I could kind of take it or leave it. There's a game, the most unexpected game of the year, uh, Pokopia, is
Oh,
honestly, if I didn't have a Switch 2, Pokopia is coming out in March. That would probably be what pushed me over the edge.
yeah, I think that'll sell for a lot of people.
Pokemon and Animal Crossing.
Yep.
Animal Crossing, yes, please. Um, yes, let's move onward. The new, I guess, yeah, this did come out in November, right?
Yeah, that was like
New
2 weeks
Super
ago.
Mario Galaxy movie trailer. It feels like I saw it like multiple months ago, but maybe November was just that long.
It was.
Yep. New Mario Galaxy trailer looks pretty dope.
Yeah.
There's a concerning lack of Yoshi for me
Okay.
because the end credits of Super Mario showed a Yoshi egg. So if Yoshi doesn't make an appearance, we riot. Just so we're clear.
I,
I think it looks really cool.
it looked fun. It looked interesting. I feel like they downplayed Bowser a little bit. His childish behavior, imprisonment. Not like I thought that was
Well,
kind
I'm
of silly.
psyched for Bowser Jr.
Yes.
Bowser Jr., he
Yeah.
has the paintbrush from Sunshine. He has the Wonder Flower power up from Mario Wonder,
Yep.
which is crazy to see. I didn't even catch that when the trailer. My son goes, "Oh, it's a Mario Wonder Flower." So, and one of your favorite actresses is playing Rosalina.
Ah, had had up. I was
Well, I
willing
knew.
skate past right past that. I'll be honest with you, Brie Larson is just one of those people I have to hate. I've got
Listen,
such a
listen.
thing against this woman.
Hold on. You can, because there's a lot of opinions about her as Captain Marvel.
It's not
However,
even Captain Marvel, but go on.
it's to me, she is not Captain Marvel. She is not Rosalina. To me, Brie Larson is Envy Adams, Scott Pilgrim's evil ex-girlfriend.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Because I think that was the first movie that I saw her in,
Yep.
and she crushed it. I
She
prefer
was a blonde.
I
Envy's
know,
a
but she was
redhead.
so she I prefer her cover of
Okay.
On a
Okay.
Wire to the original song by Metric, and I love Metric. That's a band.
Yeah.
Um and she covered it, and I prefer her version. And she's not a singer. She doesn't do like a music stuff. So I loved her in that movie. I think
Brie,
Mario Galaxy movie is going to be great. Not
I
as good as Scott Pilgrim, but we
she's
can hope.
gonna she's just doing voice acting. Doesn't have to actually be on screen, so I don't have people.
Rosalina is very like subdued and quiet anyway.
Yes. So
Like
it's
she's
gonna be
probably going to say
fine.
like Luma, and that's it. That's it.
I,
She's
I'm
just going to say Luma.
I'm fine with the casting of her in that role. I think she's got a decent voice. I'm just not a fan of off
That is totally yes. Yes. Totally.
screen.
Um Nintendo, there are a lot of Nintendo sales going on,
Yeah.
but
I
they're
don't
all for
know
Switch 1 games.
why. Why are they pushing any sales for Switch 1 when they know they're going to put a gun to its head in about a year?
Because Mario Odyssey will always be good.
I,
That's the thing, is a lot of these Switch 1 titles that are on sale, if you didn't get a Switch 1 and you recently got a Switch 2 or you're thinking about getting a Switch 2 for your kids for Christmas, these are the games that you have missed over the last 8 years that hold up to the test of time. Because Nintendo has this weird like reverse bell curve when
yeah.
the beginning of a game of a the beginning of the Switch life cycle, they had Breath of the Wild, they had uh they had Mario Odyssey, they had Mario Kart, like some bangers that are still amazing to this day. And then as time went on, they totally schlumped. And now they're back. Donkey Kong, Metroid Prime, Kirby Air Riders, and the first wave of really good first party Nintendo games in the last decade are now all on sale. So I get what they're trying to do,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it annoys me that as a new Switch 2 owner, I am being punished for being an early adopter. Because
I
I'm going to have to wait 8 years for Metroid Prime 4 to go on sale to get like $20 off.
and I'll be honest with you, I'm the prime demographic for Metroid Prime 4. Like I want to play this game. It's in my wheelhouse. I'm a story-driven gamer, a sci-fi first-person shooter. It's right up my alley. The art style is right within my niche. Like
Have you
I
played Prime before? Any of the Metroid Prime games?
no,
Just get Metroid Prime 1 remastered.
I mean, yeah, yeah, I probably should. But
Anyway, we digress.
yes. Game of the Ward game. Wow. Wow.
The
The
Game of Wards.
the Game Awards nominees are.
Oh, there are so many things to say about this. Oh, I see your interesting fact here. Yeah, the Game Award nominees are Interesting. Expedition 33 has been nominated in almost like every category thinkable.
Yep.
Um, Monster Hunter Wilds is only nominated for best. I think it has some minor ones like accessibility, but it was recommended for best RPG. Now, when you think about if I said spit out your top 3 RPGs, you're probably not gonna even consider games like Monster Hunter. Although Monster Hunter is technically by genre an action RPG, I don't think it's a good idea to lump it in with other RPGs because they're too dissimilar. It's like everything in the RPG category is an RPG and then Monster Hunter because they couldn't find it anywhere else to put it. And that annoys me.
Okay.
So, sorry, Jeff Keighley. Doing a great job, but like just make another category or just nominate it for game of the year. That's what I would
Or
do.
or 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 just
Or
do what they did for every other category and nominate Claire Obscura Expedition 33.
that's I mean Claire Obscure. Guess what? It's in that category already. It looked at Monster Hunter and it patted the seat right next to it and is like, "Come here."
Come sit down.
Um, Speaking of Monster Hunter, Monster Hunter Title Update 4 is coming out on December 16th, and it is going to feature Gog Mazios, which is a giant, nasty elder dragon beast, and it's going to be the hardest hunt. And that scares me because Omega is already plenty hard for me. So I'm afraid. Also, I am going to be streaming I'm going to be streaming the Monster Hunter Direct on Monday, the 9th.
Okay.
Is it? I don't know, or the 8th, whatever this upcoming Monday is. I'm going to stream it, and then I'm going to play some Monster Hunter, and I'm going to give away more Poogie codes for the Poogie pendant in Wilds. So stop on by. Um, and then the last bit of news, which
This
actually
is
happened today.
yep.
This could be its own episode, but
It
this
could
isn't
be.
really.
I've got an interesting
Netflix
fact about this. Go ahead.
Netflix has acquired Warner Brothers Entertainment for $82.7 billion. A value of a deal, not 82.7 in cash, but the deal, I think they paid 78 million, but it's 8.2 billion dollars in value. What?
Yeah. Now,
WB includes the DC universe, it includes Mortal Kombat, it includes everything that was in multiverses. It includes HBO and HBO Max.
I
Uh,
I'll be honest with you. So, interesting fact, Warner Brothers has been purchased and or sold a total of 6 times in our lifetime, starting from 1990 to
really?
19 to 2025. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's an interesting fact. I also think it's an interesting fact that they've merged with HBO and they're still selling. And I wonder why. But and that question can be a side quest of its own. But I would like to separately say I need to see get more money so that they can pump out better content than what they have been. And I think Netflix is the right studio.
I I don't know. I mean, here's the thing, and I have a whole thing on DC here. So let me just take one big deep breath and try to get all my feelings out at once. Okay. So the WB has let Marvel eat DC's lunch for a decade. They have tried, they have failed, they have found new ways to try and fail. Hopefully, Netflix can fix that. They have done the same thing but worse for Mortal Kombat. They let Mortal Kombat fatality itself for 2 games in a row. Mortal Kombat 11, yeah, I mean, Mortal Kombat 11 did sell really well, but I don't think it really held up. People that towards the end of the life cycle of Mortal Kombat 11, people were like not interested at all. Mortal Kombat 1 tanked. They canceled DLC. They said, this is the year. We're going to support it for more than 2 years. We're going to support it for many years to come. They were right. They didn't support it for 2 years. They supported it for less than 2 years.
I skipped Mortal Kombat 1. I purchased Mortal Kombat 11 though.
Yeah, I had 11. I played a little 11. The other one is Multiverses. They fumbled Multiverses not once but twice. They messed up the open beta so bad they yanked it and said, "Nope, it was just beta. See you next year." And then they re-released it, hyped it up, and it was somehow worse than the first time.
Multiverses should have been a
Multiverses, man.
Should have been a downright fighting.
Platform fighters are really tough.
And I'll be honest with
Really
you,
tough.
they had an amazing roster to make that
I don't want to
game,
even talk about it.
That game should have been what competes with Super.
Yeah. Yep. And I think that's why some people were willing to hold out and huff on that copium for so long.
Yeah.
Is because it's like they're too big to fail, right? Right, guys. It is worth mentioning, and Snork pointed this out in our Discord, that they did publish Hogwarts Legacy, which was an absolute banger.
And they're about to create Hogwarts Legacy 2, and I am giving them every ounce of prayer and hope that they make it just as Hogwarts Legacy was phenomenal.
That's on my play it eventually list. I almost picked it up for like $9 on Steam Black Friday sale, but then Marvel. I'm pointing at Marvel on my other screen, by the way, for those of you. But yeah, then Marvel came out, and I'm like, well, no, I need to play this. Anyway, so the bar is set so low by the WB. The only way Netflix is going to mess up is if they trip over it. Scene. Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Now that we've had all the negative things out of the way, let's talk about the real meat in the sandwich. Man. Yeah, Marvel Cosmic Invasion is very much built on, I don't know if it's the same engine or the same just creative direction, but it is very much tied to the DNA of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing, because TMNT Shredder's Revenge was another banger. Really, really good. What's interesting is you have Streets of Rage, right? Let's say the two biggest beat 'em up successes that Dotemu has done in recent times is Streets of Rage 4 and TMNT Shredder's Revenge, right? So Streets of Rage 4, a little slower, a little more technical, totally different art style. TMNT, retro art style, more arcadey.
Okay.
What just launched about a month ago? Absolum. How does Absolum play? Very similar to Streets of Rage 4. Marvel Cosmic Invasion launches last week. What does it play like? TMNT. It's so crazy, and I can't believe that is a coincidence. I have to believe that there was that has been discussed in the .emu HQ. They talked about it in French because they are a French company, so I can't pretend to imitate them. But it can't be coincidence. I feel like there has to be some DNA between those two games, and then separately those other two games. But I digress. Mechanically, I mean, what do you want to talk about in this game first? Because the mechanics are where I geek out.
You will you will nerd yourself on the mechanics. I Graphics, I'm gonna say, is probably exactly what you would expect from a game that is designed to emulate the 1980s. Um, I think it was done beautifully, just like with Streets of Rage and with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They brought in all of the correct nostalgia points. They touched on all of Easter eggs that you find in the background of each one of the shots,
So much.
things that are in the windows or things that are like behind trash cans, bushes, or people are walking in the background while you're fighting. Like they've done a great job at bringing in some of that lore. Um, I think each time Emu has made one of these games, they have each time had a world that seems weird to talk about in this type of game. They have made each world feel more lived in. They've given more depth to the background and to
Yep.
what you can interact with in the environment. And I just love to see that level of care being brought to the background of the world that you're walking. So, Chef's Kiss,
Yes.
thank you very much.
Especially because it's Marvel.
Yeah,
They have like an infinite pool
yeah,
of reference material and Easter eggs and things like that.
yeah.
Which that I'll continue that line, that thread of thought right to the characters. So it is a cast of 15 characters, and they're all pretty faithful to their source material. And it's interesting because this cast of 15, if you said name 15 Marvel
I
characters,
couldn't.
there no, come on.
Off
Yes,
the
you
top,
could.
off the top of my head, with my eyes closed, if it wasn't because of the Marvel movies,
15 character? No,
it.
well, I'm saying because of the Marvel movies.
Okay,
You have a very select set of heroes
yeah,
that have become very popular.
yeah.
And this does not follow that trend at all, and I am here for it. There's no Black Widow, there's
So
no
I'm gonna.
Vision,
I don't have every character unlocked, but you've got Captain America, you've got Nova, which is interesting. You've got
right?
Storm, which hasn't even been brought into the movies yet. And Storm is
Yes.
such a troubled but powerful Marvel
I
character.
love Storm so much. She's one of my favorite X-Men.
Wolverine,
She's
he's
best.
a natural badass, like can't stop. Spider-Man is every young kid's favorite person. Beta Ray Bill, I
Beta Ray Bill.
don't even know who that
Beta Ray
is.
Bill is a cult classic character because it is a multiversal variant, or like it's Thor. It's a alternative version of Thor. He has all Thor's powers. He's the god of thunder, like, but he's this weird like horse ass
Interesting.
looking alien thing. Beta Ray Bill, we stand.
You've got She-Hulk, which is cool. Rocket Raccoon, which I'll be honest with you, is an obscure character, I think, from the Marvel lineup, but it's a great to see that it's included.
Yeah,
Iron
I mean
Man,
Guardians are in
I
there.
mean,
That's like
yeah,
main line, but yeah, pick just one.
yep.
Like,
Uh,
so you think Star Lord would be over Rocket, but
Iron Man is in this, which is a stand-in, right? Cosmic Ghost Rider. So Ghost Rider in
a
itself,
deep cut, a deep.
ah,
That's what I'm here for. Are the deep cuts.
yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then you've got Black Panther, which I love to see Black Panther was included in this. Now, from the lineup that I have, there are 4 characters that are blocked out and they have to be unlocked. So do
Do you
you
want to know who
know?
they are? Because
Of
I
course,
obviously have everyone
I want
unlocked.
to know what they are. Go ahead. What are the 4
Okay,
characters on this list?
one of them was a. I mean, actually, I think multiple ones were in a demo. So, Venom was in the demo,
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah,
Venom
yeah.
is a character you have to unlock. Phi Lavelle, who was also in the demo, one of my favorite characters to play in the demo. I know nothing about her in as far as the lore of Marvel. But she's in there. She's unlockable. Um, Phoenix is the third unlockable character, which is, I wouldn't say a deep cut for X-Men, but kind of. It is Phoenix. Do you know who Phoenix is? How well versed are you in X-Men? See, I was
I
an
mean,
X-Men nerd as a
I
kid.
love the X-Men. I am not great with names. You'd have to give me. I'd have to see.
Phoenix
Oh, wait.
is,
Phoenix is
yes.
Jean Grey, who
Mhm.
then dies and resurrects and transforms into Phoenix, like her ultimate last form. It's like Goku Saiyan 3.
Yes, but Phoenix, so technically Phoenix is a, like, primordial cosmic entity, and it manifests itself in beings with strong innate psychic abilities. So Jean Grey is Jean Grey, but then the Phoenix becomes like it is Jean Grey turns into Phoenix.
So
Phoenix is its own persona.
very much like the symbiote, assuming what's his
Kind
face?
of, kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Venom, yeah. And then the last character is Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer. So I know nothing about Phyla-Vell. So
I don't either.
I'm looking her up right now.
She's a badass with a giant sword,
Yeah.
and that's all I need to know.
But Order of Marvel, Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Before they made naming conventions, that made
Yeah.
sense.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so in playing this, all of the characters
I
have
don't think
very
I got a
unique
chance to
things.
play. So
Silver Surfer is the last one that you unlock, and
that
you
checks.
unlock him pretty late into the game. Um, yeah, all of the characters play pretty differently. They all have different specials. They all have different little mechanics. Some are very simple. Some are a little more complicated. But what's funny is because when you play, you pick two characters and you can tag team in between them, which is my favorite mechanic, which we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah.
But they banter back and forth, and
Yes.
the voice lines that they say are all unique to each other. So if you're playing Captain America and Iron Man, Iron Man will call Captain America Winghead because of the wings on his helmet,
Yeah.
and Captain America will then call Iron Man Buckethead. And that is true across, and there's some that are a little more generic than others. But there are little nuggets in there. So make sure you play this game with headphones on.
Yeah.
Also, soundtrack by T. Lopes, who is a legend at this point, known for doing Sonic Mania and a bunch of other games. But yes, T. Lopes just making the music such a strong element of this game
Do you think that there is a power couple?
within the game.
Yeah.
Now I gotta open the character. I
Okay.
mean, yes,
So
there
what
is. There
what
is.
what I'm talking about is, and we're gonna kind of switch into the next section of this review, talking about gameplay and mechanics. One of the, I'm gonna call it a mechanic, is that during the character select screen, you get to choose two characters to play as during your run through. You don't get to choose just one, you get to choose two. And one of your buttons is during combat, you can call upon your secondary character, give you an assist, or you can switch characters, swap out. And if you're wanting a like, I feel like some distance, but I also want to be able to get up there, get down and dirty. You can switch back and forth between Iron Man and Wolverine, get that both feel, which I think is phenomenal. And each character plays differently. Each character has different abilities. Each character has different um their power ups, but also how those two characters, not just verbally and from a sound studio aspect, interact with one another, but how they interact with one another when combating and fighting up against Meek as well. and it is an amazing mechanic.
It's so much fun, and it's very reminiscent of all the Marvel versus Capcom games, all the
Yep,
Marvel tag fighters. Like that is where this system basically comes from of tagging in.
yep.
But you really don't see it in beat 'em ups. Now, being the nerd that I am, um, I've really dug into the mechanics of this. And did you know that when you're tagging your second character in, you can tag them. You can do just a raw tag and they come in. You can hit if you hold tag and you hit the attack button, the regular attack button, the character will come in and will do like a quick combo, like whatever their normal attack move is. But if you hold the tag button and hit their special, they will come in and use their special instead. For
Oh,
example, Captain America, he has the standard three-piece combo, uppercut, whatever, up close.
yep,
But if you tag him with his special, he will come out and he will throw his shield, which is a projectile.
yep,
So you can still benefit. You can have what you were talking, that balance of up close and ranged, or vice versa.
yep.
Like Wolverine's special is a command grab. So if you do Wolverine Iron Man, if you're at a distance, you can use Iron Man's assist on Wolverine to do a ranged attack. And if you're up close with Iron Man, you can have Wolverine come in and do a command grab.
And Storm
And
has her tornado blast. She can either do the vertical tornado or the tornado that shoots out in front of her.
yeah, Nova has like a pulse thing. Rocket Raccoon has these grenades that do different things. It's fun. It is. This game reminds me of two things. It reminds me of being a kid and playing with action figures,
Yep.
because Emu has given us a whole chest of toys to play with and experiment with. And then it also obviously reminds me of like a Saturday morning cartoon,
It's
right?
so well
That's exactly
drawn.
what it is.
Yeah, like a Saturday morning. That art style is
Um,
perfect.
Besides the tag mechanics, combos feel really good. The controls are tight. It rewards you for being skillful, so there are parries. There's a lot of characters. I'll go back to Captain America again. He has a shield that you can hold block to block, but if you tap it right as you're getting hit, he parries and stuns the enemy. And
Which is
there's a couple
cool.
different versions of that. Yeah, it really comes into play in boss fights. Um, Also, as you play through the campaign, your characters get stronger based on which ones you use. They get more health, they get more special meter. But each character, when you get them to level 5, has a passive ability that you have to kind of go a little deeper into the menus to find. But each character has a passive ability. Going back to Captain America again, I play him a lot. Captain America's passive is that your assist meter and your tag partner's special meter fills up at a faster rate. Wolverine's passive is that he recovers health faster. Iron Man's passive is that when you parry someone, your next 3 blasts of your special attack are do more damage. And each character has a passive like that either helps the team or helps a specific aspect of their gameplay. Like Spider-Man, every time you successfully dodge an enemy, it refills your web shooters. So there's a lot of fun little things to get into. Very fun. Um, my few criticisms about the game is that the campaign mode is pretty short. Um, However, each mission in the campaign mode has 3 challenges. One that is a sort of make it through this section without getting hit challenge. And then each level has 2 specific character challenges for 2 specific characters. And those are the characters that are featured in the cutscenes going into each level.
Ah,
So you're storming the Sentinel base. In the cutscene, it's Wolverine and Storm. If you play through that level as Wolverine and Storm, you can complete challenges that then give you points for unlocks and stuff like that.
that's cool.
So there's some replayability. You can unlock modifiers for the arcade mode that make it easier or harder or just add different twists for replayability. Um, I would say the difficulty is good, but some of the bosses are quarter eaters to where,
Really?
yeah, I mean, there's
For
been
those of
a
you who
bunch of
are
bosses.
young and at home and don't know what a quarter eater is that is a specific type of boss that is designed to hurt you so that you die and you've got to revive and put in another quarter in order to keep playing. Back to the show.
Yes. Yeah, there's just some bosses that feel like they're gonna hit you. You're gonna take a bunch of damage. If you don't come into the fight with 2 full health bars on both your characters, just restart the level. And maybe that's just maybe this I just need to get good because parrying does play a big role, and I'm not a big parrier in this game yet. But
Yeah, yeah.
um, other than that, it is so fun. It is the unlock system is a little weird. You get points, and then you basically have this giant like grid, and you just go to any one of the grid things and you spend a point and it unlocks. And it could be a new color for a character, it could be a music track, it could be like an information thing on like a character's backstory, but it's just this giant grid. And as you play it, like I didn't even know it was there until I started going around and following little exclamation marks. I guess you just get these points through playing levels and stuff, but I just started unlocking it, and now all these characters have a bunch of cool outfits that are, callbacks to comics and movies and stuff like that. So
Interesting.
progression's fun, a little abstract, but yeah, everything else is super fun. I mean, this is going to be the game that we're all playing in person when our friend group meets up every
Oh
couple
yeah.
of years.
Yep,
Instead of playing TMNT, we're going to be playing this.
definitely. Without a doubt.
This really also makes me want to have a arcade stick. I
Oh,
would love to play this game on a 6-button arcade stick.
I
Oh
have a
my
dream
lord.
that I'm gonna have a lot of money and show up at your house and completely refurbish your entire basement. And there's gonna be like 2 or 3 cabinets in your basement. And this was the X-Men game gonna be one of the games. Like
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
just
This really feels like a super duper upgraded version of like the classic X-Men
yeah.
arcade cabinet,
Yep.
which that was what was eating my quarters as a kid. So yeah, Marvel Cosmic Invasion, it's out on all platforms. Oh, it's crossplay.
It's
It's
cross
crossplay.
play.
That's how
So
you do it.
I am on Xbox, Presto's on PC, and we play two Jeffs.
Yes, we're actually going to be playing together right after this episode ends. We're going to take a little break and then we're going to stream this game and we're going to see how far we can get.
So, as to round out this review of this game, I don't think the Nintendads has an official scaling. So, I think done. Is it a buy? Is it a pass? As a scaling system. We've also done the number scale. So, flip a coin. How do you want to rate this game?
I well, we could just use the systems that we've used before. I would say this is a must buy if you like beat 'em ups, if you want a easy game to play with your kids, if you like Marvel, if you like TMNT Shredder's Revenge. If you are one of any 4 of those things, this is a must buy.
If you just so
First,
happen to have $30 that is burning a hole in your pocket, also
absolutely. Absolutely. Um I would say if I had to rate it, I would say if we're not getting like decimal pointy, I would say 9 out of 10
okay,
for sure.
okay.
For sure.
I also would give it a 9 because I feel like they could add more to it. I think that there could be more.
There has to be DLC. The
Oh,
marketing for this was too big. There has to be DLC.
I mean, Dotemu has surprised us with pretty amazing D in the past, Mr. X Knight. I
Yes,
genuinely anticipate.
it has to. It better. If not, I'm gonna have to get it on Steam for all the crazy mods that are gonna come out
Yep, yep,
for
yep.
this game. Um, Side question of the episode: what games or gaming things that fit under the Nintendads umbrella um are on your Christmas list for you and your little nuggets?
What the? I just got this like note from this TikTok has decided to.
Oh yeah, it does do that sometimes, yeah. For
Uh,
inactivity. Their studio software, let me tell you.
anyway, um, so from a gaming perspective, because of finances, I don't think I am leaning towards a whole lot. Um, I am looking at spending more D time with the fam and having more tabletop games at home that some time with, because I think the family needs to have some us time. So I am looking forward to that. Um, Little Red and I, obviously having Xbox Game Pass, will probably ride whatever comes out for um through the Game Pass
Fortnite.
system. I mean, Fortnite. Yep. Um, but I think what I am most excited, heard it here, folks. I am going to
Oh Lord,
continue to peddle this
it's
dream
getting real
until
close.
one day it comes.
Uncomfortably close.
I want Legend of Zelda game in the prime era where Zelda is the main protagonist and get to see her badass she deserves. When that comes out, I'll be happy.
Would you rather have that game or a remaster of Ocarina of Time? The real side quest.
Ooh, ooh. You know what? It depends on how they do the Ocarina of Time. If they do it really, really well, I'm talking completely revamp the graphic system. Maybe bring in some extra voice actors to bring in voice acting that wasn't there before. And I'm saying correct, fix, or enhance some of the dungeons. If they can do all of that, I think it would be the Ocarina of Time remake.
Because Ocarina of Time remake, you know what you're getting. You know
Yeah,
that you're getting a great game with a fresh coat of paint and then some.
yeah.
With a Zelda-driven game, that could go many directions.
I want it. I don't even care if it's like a Majora's Mask style game. Like I want it.
Here's a question that you may not have thought of yet. What is one of your most anticipated games of 2026? That a game that we are both interested in, a game that we are both going to get at launch and probably stream quite a fair bit of. There's only one game coming out next year that is really on our radar as a pretty much guaranteed we're going to play it, stream it.
I mean, the
And you
first
forgot
game.
about it the last time we talked about it too.
There's only two games that I know that are coming out next year that I like are watching, and that's
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 6 and a Resident Evil Requiem.
Oh, but you missed one.
Missed one. What did I miss?
Forza Horizon 6.
Oh, I
Forza Horizon 6 is rumored to be coming out
is
early
you're gonna
2026.
make have
Early
another reason
2020.
to get a game.
And there is exactly where I was driving to with that point is if if the family's like, "Well, I don't know what to get you." I'm just saying it would be an awfully great this would be good timing to find a wheel under the tree.
That's that's true. It would be.
Lady
Fable
Sage, if
is
you're
also
watching.
coming out. I'm just gonna
Oh,
point that out.
true.
Fable
True.
coming out. I'm a huge
But see,
Fable.
I'm not gonna play Fable or GTA 6
Or Requiem.
or Requiem, but
Oh,
Horizon.
but Horizon
Horizon, we're gonna get down on for sure. Okay, I think that rounds out the episode.
does.
Uh, Stick around if you're in the stream. We will be back in 5 minutes. We'll get little refreshers and start up the games, and we're gonna stream some Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Stay
Do it.
tuned. We'll be back after this commercial break with
Go
no
for it.
commercials, though.